What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 58 of Thinktwice, the magic and pop culture show hosted by me, Justin Parnell, and my co-host, Ali Aintrazi.
Ali Aintrazi.
You always like to say your own name after I say it.
I have to say it.
Do I not say it good enough for you?
Nope, it's not. It's not.
Never.
It doesn't sound good enough. One day I won't repeat after you.
But not today, and probably not
But
tomorrow.
not today.
So,
probably not next week.
Well, we're not to next week, but we are to last week. So speaking of last week, what did you do last week?
What did I do last week?
I don't know. That's why I was asking you, because I didn't know.
I slept.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Wasn't that crazy?
Very entertaining answer.
I went... Okay, I hung out with Elizabeth one day.
Okay.
She came down. She's like, hey, randomly, I'm coming down to Charlotte. I was like, okay. Then she came down to Charlotte. She ran into, there's a Pride Festival going on downtown.
Okay, cool.
And she was there. So then I met her there. We hung out, chit-chatted, talked about stuff, everything, I guess, whatever. And then Sunday, what is Sunday? I don't think I did much of anything Sunday. I think I just slept.
Wow, a lot of sleeping. What a weekend.
It's pretty intense.
I played board games on Sunday. Played a couple of the board games that I picked up at Gen Con. The first one was Hail Hydra, which is a social deduction game. You're going to be able to maybe play this game over the weekend, which I'm pretty excited about.
Oh, I remember now. Sunday, I went to Ruth's Chris with Dalton.
Damn, you guys fancy, huh?
We both want to try the experience
of lighting a bunch of money on fire.
Basically.
How
so we
was
went there. It was fine. Not at all what I expect. Like, I was expecting something extravagant, but the food tasted
like food, and it was just more expensive.
It was good. It was good. Like, I mean, I thought this thing was gonna be like delicious.
You thought it was gonna change. You thought it was gonna change your life.
Yeah, it did not.
And the only thing it did was change your wallet.
Yeah, it was basically $60, and I will never go there again for a steak.
Yep.
So that's what happened. So Saturday was Elizabeth. We took Maggie for a walk. Elizabeth tried to steal Maggie from me multiple times.
Understandable.
No, it's not understandable. She tried to steal Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie's really
steal it forever.
Yeah,
forever.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh my god, she tried to kidnap Maggie.
Yep.
And you're okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll see how it is. I'll see you guys.
I mean, I'm not on Elizabeth's side. I would
yeah,
steal.
You are?
No, I'm not. I would just steal Maggie too.
You can't steal Maggie. If you're stealing Maggie from me, you're not on my side.
No, I'm on Maggie's side.
What?
Protect the Maggie at all costs.
So what is that? So if Elizabeth steals Maggie, that's protecting her?
Then I'll just steal it from Elizabeth.
Okay.
Boom.
So, all right, mind blown. So Saturday, that's what happened. And Sunday, that's what happened. And then afterwards, Dalton and I traded some Pokemon. I gave him a Tyranitar. He gave me a Chansey. And a Chansey gave me, on chance, happened to be a lucky.
Happened to be a lucky on chance.
With the Wonder. And highest stat is defense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The best.
How look at you.
I know. That was a good chance encounter. Chance trade.
Yeah. You texted me #blessed and I sent you back. #blessed.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I don't know if you were listening. I don't know if you were listening when I was telling
your inferior story.
What happened to you this past
weekend?
I was playing board games. I got to play one of the games I picked up at Gen Con called Hail Hydra. It's a social deduction game where people are randomly assigned either their shield or Hydra, except you don't know who's Hydra, and you're trying to either destroy the city or prevent the city from being destroyed. It's a lot of fun. We played 3 times, and I was the only person to be Hydra every time, and I won every time. So that was great.
I bet the third time. What are the chances of them Hydra for the third time?
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
Come on, guys.
They didn't even. No one even considered me the third time. I was just like,
Justin's always Hydra.
I know. Well, and the best part was before every game, because when people were dealing out like the little, because there's like little, they're basically like little discs, and it says what you are on the back. So as they were dealing them out, I was away from the table every time, and I was like, all right, guys, I'm Shield. Let's get a game plan together. And before I even knew if I was Shield or Hydra. Of course, I'm just saying, and I was just Hydra every time, 100% of the time.
You're trying to mindfuck them.
And then I got to play another game that I got at Gen Con, which is quickly turning into one of my favorite games. It's called Gizmos. If you guys have played Splendor, this game is similar to Splendor in its resource system. There's like 4 different colored resources, and you're trying to put together this like machine that like you do one action, and then it does another action, and does another action, and you're
takes over the world.
No, it's about like a science fair. It's like you're supposed to like envision you're like at a science fair, not taking over the world. It's pretty fun. It's like it's kind of a resource management game, but it's like you can go a lot of different ways to kind of accomplish the goal of having the most points at the end of the game. So it's a lot of fun. We played those, and we played Seven Wonders, which is not a new game, but a fun one. It's a drafting game. So that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do on Sunday.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, inferior to mine, but yeah,
it was. Well, unfortunately, somehow, I don't know how, but the results of the question of the week have cut me deep. Not quite as deep as Jason Statham cut that shark at the end of the Meg. Spoiler alert. But pretty deep, nonetheless. The question of the week last week was, would you rather see a modern legal, not standard legal set, or Jason Statham punch a real live shark on live TV? And somehow, 61% of you incorrectly said the modern set, and 39% of you correctly said Jason Statham and the shark. I don't know how 61 of you, whoever you are, have decided that you would rather bypass this once-in-a-lifetime event for something that Wizards of the Coast will probably just screw up anyway.
Oh, God.
Jason Statham always has
no
100%.
One cares
always has 100% success
Jason
rate.
Statham punching a gosh darn shark on TV. No one cares. Okay, I'm done. Jason Statham is not ruining this podcast again. Him and his shark. I'm done. He lost fair and square. Get him out.
He did lose fair and square. And I won't bring it up for the rest of the podcast.
I'm taking out the trash.
Next week is a new day, though.
Next week's a new week, actually. But yeah, you're right. It is 7 new days.
Yeah. I mean, it will be a new day the next day that we record this podcast. You know, you just shut up. I'm going to keep going with the thing that I do. If you if you are listening to us on one of our great platforms, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and you'd like to be listening to us on a different platform that you're not listening to us currently, please let us know what it is so we can make sure to reach out and try to get Thinktwice on that platform as well. If you do not mind and you have an extra 13 and a half seconds of your day, we would love for you to leave us a really short review or a 5-star review, depending on the platform that you choose. Also, if you are able, just click that little share button and share on your social media platform of choice. We would really appreciate it. That's the best thing you can do to get the podcast out and rolling. So thank you. Those of you that do that, we appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
We appreciate you collectively.
Together. As a unit. Forever.
Me, Ollie, and Jason Statham all appreciate your ability to share this podcast. All right. Enough of that, Ollie. You're talking too much. It's going to go into the first segment. We didn't have any banned or restricted changes this week because Wizards didn't want to do anything. So instead, Ollie and I are going to take it upon ourselves to correct the most popular constructed format in Magic, Modern. We'll be back in just a moment.
Ban it all. Just throw it all in the trash and restart over.
Start over.
And just, yep.
You trying to Thanos? You trying to Thanos the Modern? Just get rid of half of it. Man, wouldn't that be great? If we what a format this would be if you randomly banned half of the cards.
I mean,
Like you just
Call
took
it a
you took a list of
Thanos
all of
effect.
yeah, you took a list of all of the cards and you put them in like a random generator and you just banned half of them.
That'd be great. One with nothing. Yeah, that card's banned, bro. You can't play that card. Okay. Well, but what if they would ban your favorite card?
They already did. Death Threat Shaman's already banned, so I don't have anything to lose.
But what if they banned your other favorite card?
Like, let's see. The Catexan Probe's already banned. Death Threat Shaman's already banned.
Swamp.
There's plenty of things that make black mana though.
But
But like
ban Swamp.
I could deal with them banning Swamp. Like I'd figure out a way. Like I'd play like Black Cleave Cliffs. I'd play like Overgrown Tomb.
Oh my god.
That's fine. Yeah, even basic lands can get banned. That's totally fine.
With Thanos effect, anything get banned.
That's right.
But speaking of bans,
yeah, that is the topic. So
yeah, you know what I would ban? Old Grape Shot. You know why?
Why? So are we officially starting the segment? So Ollie, let me ask you the question: if you could mold modern in your image, what would you ban and then unban? We'll do bans first. Okay, now you go.
Right, I'm gonna go first.
Here we go.
Old Grape Shot.
Okay.
You know why?
Because you don't.
Grape Shot is responsible.
You don't like taking 1 damage a lot.
Those grapes hurt. But in all seriousness, I'm tired of them banning Ponder and Preordain and all these cantrips because Storm cards exist. Just get rid of the Storm card. Get rid of the gosh darn Storm card. Speaking of getting rid of the Storm card, get rid of KCI. Just get rid of that card.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Like, stop beating around the bush. Stop joking around. Get rid of KCI. And then I'm going to go with... You go back and forth, you should me do it.
I don't think I can stop you now.
I'm doing it all. I'm on record. Get rid of Faithless Looting. You know why? That's degenerate. Hold 1 is degenerate. Vintage 1 is degenerate. Dying on turn 1 is stupid. Get it. Just go away. Okay? Simian Spirit Guide. More like Simian Spirit Trash Can. Like that's what I would put it.
Wait. Okay, I'm following now. I think
because that card never plays fair. Like it's not your deck to be played fairly. It's there to just win faster and modern. There's enough stuff more that wins fast enough. Like no, get out of here. Put it in the trash can. Okay, I'm getting the trash can. Hold on. Let me.
You have it. You have the trash can.
All right, I got it.
That could be anything, but I'll believe you.
I'm putting it in the trash can.
Okay.
All right, which is Maggie's mouth. She's gonna eat it. Okay, and the last one, everyone says, "Oh, guys, this is funny. Let's ban Urza's Tower." Come on, guys. You guys can't do that. You can't just ban that. Like that's silly. Okay, you can't ban 1 land.
Okay.
My vote is to ban Urza's Power Plant.
That's not just 1 land.
It doesn't matter. It's the power. Okay, it's not the tower. People might think the tower is tower power, but it's not tower power. This one actually has power in it. It's Urza's Power Plant. He's probably like growing some vegetables in there, trying to get vegan and go crazy. I would just ban that. Just ban it. Ban Urza's Power Plant. Tron stops a lot of other decks from stopping other decks. Just like, yo, look, I'm Tron. And Tron is a deck that's like, oh, you feel smart? You're playing Jeskai, right? Perfect. Let me just smack you around and kill you in 2 seconds. Oh, you're playing Mardu? You have to think about your Faithless Lootings and your Bedlam Revelers and your Thoughtseizes. Okay, let me just top deck this again. Alright, that good job.
Yeah, flashbacks.
Every smart deck you have to play that requires thinking or like a grind or trudge through, like even like Jund. Tron's like, that's funny. Karn.
Hold on now. You want to ban CartClan Ironworks.
Yes.
But that deck's not just like a roll through autopilot deck. Like that's actually like a very difficult deck to pilot optimally.
Here's the thing, okay?
Okay.
Someone plays CartClan, the player doesn't know what's going on, the opponent doesn't know what's going on, the judge doesn't know what's going on. No one knows what's going on, but someone's dead.
No, that's true.
Okay? So just get it out. You know what? Just get it out of here. Just put it in the trash can. I'll put it in the trash can. Ollie's trash can is getting full now. There's just some room though, Justin. What do you want?
Okay,
Here?
all right. So we got Grape Shot, which I disagree with. I don't think it matters.
It's in here.
All right, Faithless Looting, which I also don't disagree with, or I do disagree with.
Too late. You did double negative, so that's a positive.
Yeah, I do disagree with it.
It's fine.
Simian Spirit Guide, which I disagree with, but not like a lot. Like I disagree like a little bit, but at any moment, this card could just be completely degenerate. So I'm okay.
Exactly.
I'm okay. Like it's like Gitaxian Probe. Like it's different than Gitaxian Probe, but it's like Gitaxian Probe in the sense that
they're both from the same world. Okay, they're both from the same country.
Yeah, at any time, Simian Spirit Guide could show its ugly head as 4 of in the best deck. That's not a fair deck. So yeah, that's fine. You can get rid of Simian Spirit Guide. Urza's Power Plant. I mean, look, I don't have it on my list, but there's never a world where I'm sad if people can't cast Karn on turn 3. No,
it's definitely a power plant. It's not tower. It's definitely a power plant.
I don't care. I'm just banned.
Listen, it matters.
Okay, well,
everything matters.
Power plant then. I'll agree with you out of sheer tiredness. Cart Clan Ironworks, yes, not for the same reasons. More so because it's like we've gotten rid of all of the decks that let you just sit there on your turn and just play with yourself. And in most places outside of a Magic tournament, you know if you sit there in front of someone and just play with yourself, you go to jail. You
get banned.
But however, in a Magic tournament, not only do they let you do it, but it's encouraged. And they get people to put you on camera to do it.
That ain't Christian.
At the end of the round, how many people are standing there watching someone play with themselves at the end of the round? A lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Do I want my children to see that? No. It's ridiculous.
No, it ain't Christian, Parnell.
Okay, so all right, my list is slightly different than yours. It does have one shared card, and that's Cart Clan Ironworks. So I gave you that one. Number 2 for me, this is similar because I want to make sure I want to take out KCI and make sure I want to sweep the leg and then punch it in the face as it's falling. So I want Ancient Stirrings gone too. Not only does Ancient Stirrings obviously hurt all the not fun artifact decks, but it also messes with Tron, which I believe the Ancient Stirrings is probably realistically the best card in that deck because it's the only it's their only source of not card advantage but card selection. And if you take that away, they're literally just have like basically drawing off the top of their library.
You gotta believe the Harley cards.
Yeah, and they can get lands. Like they can have Sylvan Scrying and Expedition Map, but Ancient Strings lets them get a land, and then later in the game it turns that land's a Karn. This is the same argument that people are like, oh, Green Sun's in this man because it can be a Llanowar Elf and it can be a Primeval Titan. First of all, no one cares about either of those 2 cards. That doesn't even matter. Second of all, that's literally what Ancient Stirrings is. It's a Tron land on turn 1, and then it's a freaking Ugin the Spirit Dragon on turn 4 when they're casting it. So that card needs to go. Similar to your Simian Spirit Guide, Mox Opal. Like this card is just egregious. This is the easiest fast mana that you can have. There is a theme. All of these cards kind of center around artifacts. On my list, I've noticed as I'm talking out loud.
You hate artifacts.
I don't hate artifacts. I really like artifacts, and in fact, some of my cards have artifacts in them. You'll see. Wait till I get to my unbans, okay?
All right.
I'll prove that I don't hate artifacts. I hate specific ones. I don't want someone to be able to get ahead on mana. So just like you want Spirit Guide out, I want Mox Opal out. But you remember that time someone was like Mox Opal? Yeah. What a fair deck this guy's playing Mox Opal then.
Well, I like Mox Opal subtly ridiculous. People don't understand how powerful it is.
I don't think it's subtle at all. It has Mox in the name.
Oh
if there's any single word in Magic that is not subtle about its power level, it's the word Mox. Lotus is maybe the only argument that you could make over it for a single word.
What about the Mox from Dominaria?
It's the only one that's not proven to be outrageously powerful. so far.
All right.
I have one more card, and people are going to be like, what? But Disciple of the Vault. Now, hear me out.
What?
See, I knew it. I knew people were going to do that.
Told you.
I'm like, well, Disciple of the Vault, that's not even good. Well, why don't I get to my unbans? I'm going first on unbans right now.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you didn't sound like you were ready, but I'm going to talk anyway. Disciple of the Vault, I want to put on the shelf, and I want to unban, assuming that the rest of these bans happen, Ancient Strengths, Mox Opal, KCI, Disciple of the Vault. I want to let free the artifact lands. And Ollie, this is for you, okay?
Oh, it's for me? Okay.
This is for you. Now listen, this is for you.
I'm listening. Because
Affinity can be a scary deck, but it's an outrageously easy deck to beat if you simply want to. If you let the artifact lands be legal, the deck cannot beat a Stony Silence, period. It literally just shuts off their entire deck and they have no way out. They don't even have any way to interact with it. They can't even cast spells. If you take away Mox Opal, they don't have a way to get ahead on mana. They're simply just playing one land a turn and then Springleaf Drum, which is totally fine. If that's their way to get ahead on mana, then so be it. They have no way to get card advantage. That's why Affinity's largely fallen off the map, right? If you have artifact lands and Disciple of the Vault, then Affinity turns into like an aggro combo deck, which is I think equally as unhealthy. But artifact lands are fine. And why is this for you? You're thinking you just talked about aggro decks, which I'm not interested in playing, because you know what? Now you can play Master Transmuter and quirky artifact stuff, right? Don't you just need a little Seed of Sign on your life, a little Vault of Whispers, Ollie?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I need some of that. I need some of, man, be able to go Trinket Mage and get Seed of the... Very sweet.
Yeah, see? Doesn't that sound okay? Doesn't that sound fine?
And then cast Fracturing Gust and plague one of my opponent's whole board.
Yeah, exactly. Like the artifact lands have such a big downside, especially with when like Kolaghan's Command being a very main deckable card. It's like, I guess I'll double vindicate you. Yeah, I'll double vindicate you. Okay, but I have two other artifacts on my list. Right. One is Birthing Pod. This card is just way too slow for modern.
Now, yeah,
it's super grindy card. The thing is with Birthing Pod, it's always going to be like some combo-y deck. It's going to be a deck that annoys you.
Slow combo.
It's going to be a deck that annoys you, but you're like, I probably deserve that. I didn't kill my opponent quick enough. And then the other artifact I have on my list is Umezawa's Jite for the exact same reason. Like this is
oh my god. No.
No?
You can't ban that card.
Absolutely. I want to ban Jite.
Way.
Yeah. I want creatures to run into each other, and then the person that has the Jite is like, oh, gain 4 life.
It's not gain 4 life. If the person has Jite, their opponent has no creatures to
play. Dude, it's so easy to kill artifacts. What if you don't have creatures? What if you don't have creatures, dude? We're literally talking about all of these decks that do not care. What deck cares about Jite? What deck cares?
Every deck.
No, none.
Burn. Tron.
Is that your answer? Tron cares about Jite.
Creature decks.
Tron cares about Jite. Maybe if they don't have Urza's Power Plant, they probably start caring about it a little bit more. I also want to see Stoneforge Mystic roam in the sidelines. This is the easiest one. I don't even know how good this card is.
Yeah, same.
I want to see Green Sun Zenith, which I alluded to earlier. If Ancient Strength is unbanned, man, Green Sun Zenith is literally just... Oh, instead of artifacts, you have to have green creatures. Let me tell you what is way more common and can go in every single deck. Artifacts. What cannot? Green creatures. I'm not saying this card isn't good. I think this is a really sweet card, but again, this isn't like... The scariest thing this card can do is on turn 7, you go get Primeval Titan and you kill them with Valakut.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, the card isn't good.
I mean, I think
the card's fine.
I think the card is fine.
It's good.
Like, it's playable.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, but it's not like broken. It's not like doing that is whatever.
Yeah.
It's not saying that good. I'm saying like prime time is whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I also want Punishing Fire unbanned. What? Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. But
yeah, you want Jite and Punishing Fire. Trying to kill all creatures.
What? Okay. Punishing Fire. I don't even think. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Okay.
All right, John Master.
I don't even think that humans would care that much about punishing fire. It's so slow.
That's not true.
Dude, matter. It is glacial. It absolutely matters. Humans is like an extremely disruptive aggro deck. Extremely disruptive. But
you have fatal push for the champions that get big. Then you have punching fire for everything smaller.
Dude, that is just not reality, though. That's just not reality. Like,
I disagree, but anyways, keep going.
And then the last one, the deck that I played until it was banned, and I think it's ready, primed to be unbanned, is Splinter Twin. This is the most fair. This is the most fair combo that's existed in modern. In modern, yeah, not in Magic, because it's not. That's not something. That's not something we want in Standard, but in Modern, there's a billion ways to interact with this combo, and there's more now. There's literally more removal spells that just stop this.
It's true.
That have been printed since this card has been banned.
Abrupt Decay.
Well, that existed, but Fatal Push.
Authority of the Consoles.
Fatal Push with a fetch land. Authority of the Consoles. Like
Jace Arctic Thought. Or that was right there, I guess.
Doesn't stop Pestermite, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is the least herald. Like, this is the fact that we have KCI as a deck and Splinter Twin is too good, and Stoneforge Mystic is too good.
KCI is harder to interact with than Splinter Twin is.
Yeah, by a lot. Because it's a component deck. You have to kill like 6 different things. You can't just kill like one thing. You know what happens if you kill the creature they're enchanted in Splinter Twin? They lose 2 cards, and they have to try to rebuild again. Better hope you're not killing them in the meantime, because then they're probably going to lose. All right, your turn. You get your. What do you want unbanned?
All right, let me get my trash can.
Okay, so you have your trash can. Are you pulling these cards out of the trash can?
Yes.
Okay, so they're in the trash can right now.
All right, they're coming out.
Okay.
All right, Stoneforge, Greenstone, and Splinter Twin. I'm agreeing with you.
Out of the trash can for sure.
I have 2 more left. Actually, man, we did even Birthing Pod. Okay, so I have 1 more left.
Okay, so you said Stoneforge, Green Sun Zenith, Splinter Twin, and Birthing Pod. Those cards are either too slow in this. I think Stoneforge and Birthing Pod are just too slow.
I think they're all fair. I think Stoneforge is fair.
And I think
Green Sun is fair.
Green Sun and Splinter Twin
Birthing Pod is fair. Splinter Twin is the only unfair card.
But it's not even. It's slower. It's only unfair if you're literally like,
I'm saying it's combo.
Yeah.
I'm saying like Stoneforge is a fair Magic card. It's like it's one of the better fair Magic cards, but still a fair Magic card. So is Green Sun. So is Birthing Pod. They're all fair cards that are played fairly.
I mean, Birthing Pod ultimately isn't, but it's glacial. That card is glacially shown.
Fair, yeah, it is. Okay, my last one.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I don't know.
Unban Dig Through Time.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely. You just want a tool. You think you want a tool for blue
Time
decks.
Out. Shh. Let me explain our reasoning before you even start jumping down my throat. Okay. Thank you. Now, the reason I want Dig Through Time is because, listen,
I'm listening. Just start talking.
Black decks have Tassiger. There's a lot of things you can delve away, but a control deck doesn't have anything to delve away. That's actually like they have Logic Knot. They have freaking Logic. The card's awful. Give me a Dig Through Time.
No.
For my control deck, like give me a way to access my graveyard. Yes. Treasure Cruise is too much because Treasure Cruise is just stupid. It goes into like blue red, blue black, blue. Everyone and their mom can splash Treasure Cruise, but splashing Dig Through Time, double blue is hard. We've talked about this. Counterspell is hard to cast in Mana Leak. So unban Dig Through Time. Give blue a way to use their graveyard to delve away because other decks have ways to do it.
Yeah, I know. I would hate if blue had to like Snapcaster Mage or something to use their graveyard.
No, give me Dig. I don't want Snapcaster Mage. I want Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time is literally double Demonic Tutor.
No, it's not.
It absolutely is. When's the last time you cast that card?
It's banned every format.
No, it's not. I play Vintage, and it's only restricted.
I don't play Vintage.
I know.
Listen, I know. Cast Dig Through Time
I'm telling
in Modern, and then cast my Gear Hulk. Flash Dig Through Time. Let me enjoy things, Parnell. Unban Dig Through Time.
I don't think you would enjoy this as much as you think because this is a combo enabler.
No, I'm saying
yes. It is. You're saying no.
I said ban Grape Shot. I said ban Grape Shot. I said ban Searing Spirit Guide. I said ban KCI. looting, and power plant. What are you going to combo with?
This is a life will find a way type situation. You don't think if you give someone the opportunity to tap 2 blue mana and look at the top 7 cards of their deck and pick 2 of them out, that's
after they put 6 cards in the graveyard.
Yeah, Thought Scour. That's half the battle right there.
You're playing Thought Scour? Okay, you want your combo. Oh, game over, G.
Yes, that's how that's worked historically. Oh, Thought Scour. No one's ever.
There's no grave. What are you gonna do? You're gonna cast the freaking card Ignite Memories?
Empty the Warrens. There's a lot of options.
Whatever. Ban that card too. I hate Storm cards.
Okay, I understand that, but you can't just ban. Like they're not even that good. You're going to ban Empty the Warrens? That's embarrassing.
Yes, ban Empty, ban Grim Shot.
That's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself.
Unban Dig Through Time. Cast Dig Through Time.
Jesus.
Give control. It's a fair card.
Dig Through Time? Absolutely not.
Fair card.
I could not disagree more.
Listen, if I say DTT, you think that Death and Taxes, right? But no, I'm saying Dig Through Time. Unban Dig Through Time.
Why would I think Death and Taxes say DTT?
Too late. I'm digging it out through the trash can. It's out. It's legal. Good luck.
It's D&T, not DTT.
Godspeed.
This doesn't make any sense. This is. I don't. This is literally.
Okay, DTT stands for
literally Pandora's box. You have no idea. What you're doing unbanning this card.
DTT stands for Double Thunder Thighs. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember Tishana. Yeah, of course I remember.
Well, she's thick, and so is Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time is very thick.
Yeah, it costs 8 mana. That's very thick.
Exactly.
The only thing is Dig Through Time can get real slim real quick and called blue, which it always does. And how are you being like, Black has Tassiger? Yeah, Tassiger's running around running wild and modern.
Well, Gurmag is around.
It's around. Yeah, of course it's around.
Think the time, dude, people dropping Hollowed 1 turn 2 with Vengevine and attacking for 12. Like, how is that? I would die due to my hand. Like, be quiet. This card is fine. Modern is stupid.
You can die with KCI in your hand.
Turn 3 Karn. Okay, well, that's not my Dig Through Time. I still can't cast it.
You know what doesn't care? Oh my god.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm being serious. Like, Treasure Cruise is so much more rigorous, or so much more more powerful because
but a single blue is different than
double blue is hard. Like, you have to be committed.
I'm aware.
I'm serious.
I know what the card does.
Okay, this isn't Vintage where you can just move all the way down. Let me drop 20 spells on turn 1 and then poop out Dig Through Time. Okay,
yeah, you gotta
work for this.
I hate when people say that about Vintage because you literally have never
played
it.
I say that because you're poo-pooing all of my Dig Through Time.
No,
so poo-pooing all of your Vintage.
But the difference is you don't know what you're talking about.
You don't either.
I absolutely do, Ollie. One of us has played both of these formats, and one of us is just talking about this is like the thing that people say about Vintage that is just not true, that make people be like, oh, it's a turn 1 format, when Vintage is one of the most interactive formats in Magic. Significantly more so than Modern.
I feel like I hit a nerve.
You did. Because
okay, I'm sorry.
Because you did okay. Because that's what people are like, Vintage is like blah blah blah, you just kill them on turn 1, which almost never happens. It's extremely rare.
Okay.
You play significantly more turns in Vintage than you do in Modern.
Oh my god. Dig Through Time in Modern, dude, it wasn't like Treasure Cruise was a problem, not Dig Through Time. They just axed Dig Through Time because of Treasure Cruise.
They got axed at different times. You know that, right?
It got banned because of Treasure Cruise.
No, I don't think it did. If that was the case, it would have got banned at the same time.
Unban Dig Through Time.
I think we're done. I think we're done with this.
Okay.
All right. So, we are moving on. We don't have a Magic story this week. However, we decided to return to the story circle, and today we're going to be taking a look at our favorite Leonin, Ajani Goldmane. Back in just a moment.
First, I just want to apologize, guys, for
Dig Through Time.
No, for Justin calling Ajani wrong. His name is Ajani Goldman.
Not this again, please.
I apologize. I mispronounced his first name. Ajani Goldman. Okay. All right. So today's story circle is about Ajani Goldmane. So I'm just gonna dive in. I'm gonna say what's happened since, basically we know about him, and then to where we left off on Dominaria. I am not gonna cover every single piece of detail because that'll take forever. But I will hit a lot of the major points.
Get the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ajani was born as an albino Nakatl. Or Nakatl? Nakatl. Okay. He was born as albino Nakatl on Naya before it was Alara. Being albino was seen as a stigma. It was not really a good thing to be albino. But he also, besides just being albino, he also had a unique ability to manipulate the soul of magic, like your soul basically, and magics of it. He could see the very essence of spirits and creatures and animals and all that stuff, and made him be able to heal better. He was the best healer in his tribe, but no one gave him recognition because he was albino. Ajani's spark actually ignites when someone infiltrates the tribe during the nighttime and basically throw something into the fire, and shades or shadows start attacking the tribe. Ajani's brother dies to a shade or shadow that looks like Ajani. If you've seen Game of Thrones, it's that type of deal. And as his brother's dying, Ajani grabs him and closes his eyes. And then when he reopens them, he's somewhere else. When he reopens them, he's on Jund. He sees a big dragon. Find out later this Karthus, and Sarkin actually saves Ajani from Karthus, and he learns that Ajani is a newborn, a baby planeswalker, basically just plains.
And Ajani's brother is Jazal Goldmane.
Yes. Okay. Ajani. Sarkin talks to Ajani. Ajani tells Sarkin his story, and Sarkin's like, "Okay, you need to embrace your anger and avenge your brother. This is what we should do." And then this is where he basically becomes Ajani Vengeant. So he goes on vengeance. He goes back to his tribe. He fights a tribe member to try to get info on what happened that night. And dog scratching. Ajani throws this tribe member over a cliff, but he's able to grab the side of the cliff and then basically drag Ajani down with him. As Ajani's falling, he's forced to planeswalk away. When he planeswalks away into by eternities, this time he ends up on Bant. Again, it's not Lara, it's Bant, and he sees Elspeth. And Elspeth is talking to him and tells him about Bolas and what's going on, and what Bolas is trying to do, basically with the Maelstrom and stuff. And Elspeth loves Bant. This is her home plane. This is the best world she's ever had, and she doesn't want to see it get destroyed by Bolas, obviously. So Ajani's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop this dragon. He planeswalks back to Jund, or wait, he assumes it's Jund.
Yep.
But it's not Jund anymore. It's the conflict has already begun. Bolas is merging Alara back together, and it's not Jund. And then at this time, Ajani finds out that his brother's killer is dead. The person that killed his brother is actually dead. And as it's happening, he sees Bolas appear and begin absorbing the Maelstrom into himself to get more powerful. Nicol Bolas just doesn't absorb the entire Maelstrom. There's a little bit left, and Ajani is able to absorb that little tiny bit that Bolas doesn't get. And with that, he's able to summon Bolas' soul to fight Bolas and basically banish him from Alara. So he conjures Bolas' soul, they fight, and Bolas has to planeswalk away and leave Alara. Then he tries to track Elspeth. He finds her on Orborg in the fighting pits, fighting for money. She's basically given up because
I think they're the death pits of Orborg.
Yeah, fighting for money.
Yep.
He stops her from he planeswalks there. He stops her from killing another planeswalker, and he tells her to go help Alara instead of fighting the pits. She refuses and says this is destroying Bant, and Bant's already gone. He says he's kind of basically just disappointing her. He's like, you shouldn't be like this, and he leaves her armor that he found on Bant, and he leaves. But some time passes, then he feels like he can't abandon her. He wants to help her, so he goes to find her again. He's able to track her. He finds her on Theros. He knows something is wrong with her, but he can't tell exactly what's going on. And she won't tell him what's going on. But she says we need to travel to Nyx. And on their way, there's like a huge quest, and basically Kiora tricks them. Thasla helps them, and then finally to get entry into Nyx, one of them has to go through one of the ordeals, one of the gods' ordeals. Mm-hmm. Ajani's saying, "Hey, take Thasla's ordeal," and she doesn't. She said she takes Erebos' ordeal. She ends up going. She ends up finishing her ordeal. They go through Nyx, and there she fights Xenagos, who's become a god. She kills Xenagos. Then as they're leaving, I can't remember who tells them, but I think Brahmaz tells them that they
it's actually Nylia.
Nylia, okay. Nylia tells them they need to get out of here before Heliod or Erebos gets here. Then Heliod finds them and is able to kill Elspeth with his the Godsend, with the own weapon. So he kills Elspeth. She's dying. Ajani tries to save her and like pull her away before Erebos can come and basically claim her. But Brahmaz basically Brahmaz and his companions or tribe, whatever, take Ajani away before he basically just dies himself to Erebos. And so he's just Elspeth, as far as we know, is in the underworld. Erebos dead.
Yep.
Then Ajani, good.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Ajani decides to take revenge. And the best way he finds out that the gods on Theros, they get their power from belief. So he starts spreading this word and telling everybody that, hey, Heliod killed Elspeth, and all the gods on Theros become less powerful if you don't believe in them or there's no belief. And he leaves after that, thinking that the people on Theros will do what they need to do to the gods. And he also wears Elspeth's cloak in honor of her.
And that's the cloak that you see her on essentially all of her Planeswalker cards. Yep. Elspeth Knight Errant, Elspeth Tyrell, and Elspeth Sun's Champion.
Yep. So from Theros, Ajani planeswalks to Kamigawa. He's going to visit his friend Tamio to basically tell her, and like he's mourning. She's also a friend. He's just confiding in her. He learns from Tamio that Tezzeret has crimes on Justin's favorite planet, Kamigawa. So Ajani begins wants to track down Tezzeret. So he's able to track him. Ajani's a good tracker, man. Apparently he's a really good tracker because he tracks down Tezzeret and he goes to Kaladesh. And he ends up getting there where the fight is, with the consortium, and he ends up helping the renegades. As he's helping them, he goes to find, I want to butcher this name, Ovea? Anyway, she's part of the renegade leaders.
The old lady. It's the old lady, yes. The 1-drop green card. I think it's Ovea.
Yeah. Ovea. He says to find her at her home. She's taken, like in the movie Taken. Ajani calls up people and is like, yo, he says, give her back or I want to find you. I have a very particular
set of skills.
He tracks really good. So, as he saves her, unintentionally, he also saves Nissa and Chandra. They're both like in the
deadlock
tumble
trap
thing.
Yeah.
Deadlock trap with poison. Yeah, he saves them. And then after he saves them, they help fight for the renegades. And they're like, hey, Ajani, you want to take this oath? And Ajani's like, honored to be able to take the oath and protect the plane. He's like so excited. He's like so ecstatic and happy to take the oath. But he urges the Gatewatch to wait for more allies before going to Amonkhet. He's like, please don't go to Amonkhet. We need more allies. Just wait.
Because he's the only one that's directly fought Bolus.
Yes, and he says, guys, let's all regroup. He tells the Gatewatch, let's all regroup on Dominaria. So he goes to Dominaria. He recruits Joria and the Weatherlight on an undisclosed adventure, and then we get the Weatherlight story, and then after that, not the Weatherlight story, sorry, with the Dominaria story, yeah. And then at the end, Jory's like, oh, I gotta see my cat friend, which is we find out it's Ajani. They meet up. Ajani finds out that only Liliana and Gideon are there from the Gatewatch, and he basically is kind of upset.
Yeah,
and
he's frustrated at their stubbornness.
Yeah, they wouldn't fight. They wouldn't fight Ajani. Not Ajani. Wouldn't fight Nicol Bolas, and now there's only 2 of them, so that they have less planeswalkers. So he's like, okay, I have to find more allies, even more allies now. So he planeswalks away to recruit more planeswalkers to fight Nicol Bolas.
Yep.
And that's the last we see of him.
So we can expect to see Ajani on Ravnica, I think, because
maybe at the last, maybe not for the first 2 sections, maybe the last one or second one.
I think we're probably getting him in the 3rd Ravnica set because
that makes
Bolas
sense,
is. I don't. Aware is not the best word, but cognizant of Ajani's power and that he knows. He has a pretty good idea how to beat Bolas since he's actually done it before. One of the few people that's beaten Bolas in combat. Now, Ajani, by his own admission, got lucky in his battle against Bolas. Like he even says in at the end of Kaladesh story, as he's telling them, do not go to Amonkhet. Don't go to Amonkhet. He's like, and they were like, I think Jace is like, well, didn't you, or it's either Jace or Gideon. It's like, well, you fought Bolas and beat him on Alara, and he's like, I got outrageously lucky, basically tricked him into fighting himself. And it's like that. There's just no shot that happens again. It's like he'll just destroy you.
Yeah, and he also is able to absorb. He's able to conjure Bolas's spirit or soul because he's able to absorb some of the most from himself and then use that to do his trick.
Yeah, basically, like all of the stars align for him to beat Bolas. Yeah, and this is just beat him, not kill him. Like basically, just beat him enough to where he is
retreats.
Yeah, exactly.
Leaves.
Ajani is one of the most interesting characters to me because even though, like, early Ajani seemed really boring, I think by now Ajani is one of the only characters that I trust his judgment completely. Does that make sense? Like what? Yeah, like his plans. He's also one of the only people that is like his intentions are all pure, like entirely selfless. Like above every other planeswalker we've really met, Ajani is really the only one that holds that distinction at all times, and not just like at points, but every part of his journey has been selfless since he's been a planeswalker.
Yeah,
except for the very, very beginning.
Except the very beginning.
Yeah, when he was red. Yeah, but that's like very, very beginning.
Yeah, basically when he sparked and he was trying to avenge his brother, but after he met Elspeth, he began to go back to his roots, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he's a healer. He's a healer, and he like even though he was being with his tribe, he did good, and he was unrecognized. He was still content because
he can look into people. I mean, he essentially can like look into people's souls.
Yeah, yeah, and he was content being the best healer in the tribe, and no one gave him.
He wants to be the support. He wants to be the support guy.
Yeah, yeah. He also wanted to keep his like pressure off his brother too and stuff. So he didn't care. He it didn't really bother him. So he built no resentment, and that speaks huge of him. Like he wants to help. He wants to support, exactly like I said. He wants to help. He wants to support, and he doesn't care if it gets recognition or not. Like that's not what it's about for him.
Yeah, and he, I like comparing Ajani to other white planeswalkers that we know. Specifically, obviously the two most. I don't know the word I'm looking for. The ones that appear most often alongside Ajani in the color white of the color pie are Gideon and Elspeth.
Yeah.
And they are not, while they're certainly white, they're not entirely selfless like Ajani is. I think Gideon is almost to a fault, where he is very Captain America-like, where he will only believe, he refuses to believe anything but the best in people, and he's willing to completely sacrifice himself, regardless if it's the best thing to happen or not. Like he pushes so far into that, like into the fully like stupidly selfless category.
Yeah, and I feel like it's because Gideon has some inner trauma that he hasn't dealt with.
Yeah,
and so does Elspeth. Like Elspeth also has inner trauma that she hasn't dealt with, and it
time.
manifests, and they both manifest into their character and causes anxiety and problems and forces them to like do some stupid stuff.
I really
go ahead. Where Johnny has dealt with his inner problem with losing his brother brother dying, and he tried to get vengeance for him, and then he realized that his brother's killer is dead, and he let go of that, let go of that vengeance, anger, and like let it go. Gideon has buried his thing so deep that he just doesn't want to deal with it, and if it surfaces at all, he just it kills him. And Elspeth
is actually Elspeth. I love Elspeth as a character because Elspeth is mono white, but she's actually fairly angry, but she's able to like center that anger into galvanization of people. Like that's kind of one of her thing is she's a leader. Elspeth is like a leader of armies and groups, and she is able to take a chip on her shoulder for if she felt like she has been wronged by an evil in the world, and turn that into a point to rally people around what she believes is good.
Yeah, I think she's still hurt by losing Bant. Like that was literally her favorite
home. I mean, that was her what she considered her home. It's not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually.
It's not. Well, it's not her. It's her adopted home. I mean, just like all planeswalkers. I mean, with the Magic Story Chronicle of Bolas, Ugin's home is Dominaria, but his home is Tarkir. And it's. I don't want to get too far on Elspeth. Elspeth is one of my favorite characters, one of the most interesting characters. It's long been assumed that Elspeth is from Dominaria as well, just because she has been in early times, like when she was young, she was basically, I don't want to say like enslaved by Phyrexians, but she was born on a plane that was ruled by Phyrexians. So a lot of people, myself included, think that she's probably from, like probably Wrath.
Okay.
But
she get back fighting pits to like comfort her whatever troubles.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of that's part of it, where she went back to Urborg, which is obviously at one point was overlaid. Wrath was overlaid on Urborg. But anyway, I don't want to get too far into Elspeth. The reason I bring up Elspeth is because she is the relationship between Elspeth and Ajani, which is like a full trust, where they completely. It's difficult. They're arguably the only two characters in Magic that trust each other fully. Yep. Like basically, they have proven that they've had each other's back, literally going out of their way to save each other. Elspeth first saving Ajani after really the first person. Elspeth, I think, was the first person that Ajani saw after he kind of came out of his battle, realizing he needed to let go of his brother's death.
Yeah.
And then Elspeth, where Ajani specifically went to go find her when she was in a really dark place, like battling in the death pits.
Yeah.
So, and then going through everything they went through in Theros, which is actually, I don't love the Theros story as a whole, but I love all of the Ajani and Elspeth interactions in that story.
Okay.
And they're just, I don't know. Elspeth and Ajani are one of the reasons I'm excited to eventually return to Theros. Not because mechanically I really didn't like that set, but outside of everything, outside of like the gameplay portion, which we're not focusing on right now, I think the lore has the ability to be really strong on Theros because there's a lot. There's a lot that was happening at the end that we didn't get a really clear picture of. Obviously, with Ashiok, which is a character you and I both like. Dak Faden was last there, which is a character we haven't seen like a full story of that wasn't in a comic book form. And then we know that Elspeth is still there just because she did conveniently die on a plane you can't exactly fully die on. So,
yeah, we'll see. Like the god, like obviously, they're with like going back to Theros means that like I want to see what to do with the gods.
Yeah.
Because Ajani left them with like that. The gods can basically die.
Yeah, basically with the knowledge that they hold the power over the gods, not the other way around.
Yeah, and I'd love to see like what the people have done with that knowledge.
Yeah. And I don't know. I want to see a reunion between Elspeth and Ajani. But it's also great that Ajani's like, he's not mourning Elspeth, right? He's honoring her by having her cloak, and then going to fight what he believes is the greatest evil in the multiverse, which is Bolas, and has worked for years now to try to get a team together to put that into place.
Yep.
So, I don't know, what are you? Is there anything you're particularly looking forward to with Ajani as far as his story or where you think we're going?
Honestly, Ajani isn't a character that I care too much about. I think his story's kind of vanilla in a way. There's nothing to me that like I want to learn more about him. Like I think he's a fine character. Like I think he's obviously a good character, but there's not a lot to me that's like interesting or appealing. Like I care more about other things than learning more about Ajani, I guess. That makes any sense.
Yeah, like and Ajani's, I wouldn't classify him as one of my favorite characters. I think he's an interesting character because he is a connector piece to so many other characters that I do really like.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like Elspeth a lot. And I like some of the members on the Gatewatch.
He's transitioned a lot. Him and Sarkin have gone through a lot of like emotional things, I guess.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Probably a good word.
Well, they've shifted a lot of colors. Like Ajani was Ajani was white, then red white, then green white. Sarkin was red, black red, then
first he was red green. Then he was
Sarkin is
then he was mono red, then he was red. No, so he was red green, then he was red black. Then he was mono red. Sarkin has been the most colors of any planeswalker.
Yeah, he has.
Fun fact.
He's been everything
but white.
Except white.
Yeah. Sarkin's also an interesting character. His story is a difficult one to keep track of due to the events of Fate Reforged.
Tarkir.
Yeah, which basically, I don't want to say ruins everything, but it sure doesn't make it easy for us to try to explain the story and get all of the issue is all the details are implicitly important, so you can't miss any of them.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Well, that's Ajani. Anything else?
Nope. That's it. I'm done with Ajani.
Excellent. Okay. All right. We are going to take a quick break, and when we return, we don't have a movie this week, but we do want to talk about another game that Ali and I play, which is Hearthstone. The new set, the Boomsday Project, has just come out. Ali and I want to talk about our favorite cards. We'll be back in just a moment. The Boomsday Project. Oh, the Boomsday Project.
Oh, the
The
Boomsday
Boomsday
Project.
Project, the newest expansion in Hearthstone. It's been out.
Kabam.
It's been out about 3 weeks now, I think,
Yeah.
by my math. And when I
By my mind, I don't know.
when
my mind's unreliable.
yeah, when I say math, I mean I'm counting on my fingers.
All right, that's math.
Trying to think. Yeah, I mean it's good enough. Good enough for me, right?
Yeah. Good enough for you. Good enough for me.
Good enough for everyone.
me.
So
Yeah.
obviously, most of you are here because we talk about Magic, but every once in a while, Ollie and I like to play a different game. Hearthstone only has 3 expansions that come out every year, so sometimes we like to take an opportunity to talk about some of our favorite cards in the new Hearthstone expansion. So today is going to be one of those days. So
yeah, and you were saying earlier that you believe this set is one of the most powerful sets for Hearthstone.
I do.
Or one of the most powerful expansions for Hearthstone.
Yes, I actually still believe that now that I've played with the cards, and maybe even more so.
Okay.
So why don't we get into, why don't we get into our favorite cards, and kind of as we go, I guess we can address any claims or facts that we believe.
Sure. One of my favorite cards, I think it's the sleeper that we'll see more play later, is Subject 9. Subject 9 is a 5-cost 4/4, and when it comes in play, you draw 5 secrets from your deck.
And Subject 9 is a legendary.
Yeah, I believe it's 5 different secrets from your deck. But that card is... That's a lot of cards, man. Drawing 5 for 5 and a 4 for body is a lot. Like, obviously, it has some deck restriction built because you have to have a lot of secrets in your deck. But the card is still very powerful, and I think it's a sleeper and really good. So that's my one of my cards. What about you?
I'm gonna go with I guess one of the marquee cards of the set, which may be a little boring, but it's Zilix, which is a mech with magnetic. Magnetic is the new mechanic in Hearthstone that only appears on mechs, and it basically says this mech can combine with another mech. So if you have a mech out, a mech creature, and you play a mech with mechanic, you can combine it. It combines their stats. It combines all of their abilities on the card.
So you can mech while you mech.
Yeah,
mech.
Dog. Zilix on the surface looks really simple, but magnetic is an extremely powerful ability. It's a 5-mana 3/2 with magnetic, divine shield, taunt, lifesteal, and rush. So this is very similar to Ali Aintrazi, the Windlord, which is a shaman 8-cost legendary.
Yeah.
And this is an excellent buff to it. It basically goes in every deck that has even a handful of mechs, just because this card is really powerful, just with its keyword soup on there.
Even alone, it's pretty good.
Yeah, even alone, it is fine. But there's a lot of higher toughness mechs, so if you can put this on a higher toughness card, like a 1/5, then this becomes actually a pretty difficult card to beat, because it has.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even like Paladin plays that creature that's a 3/2 that has basically haste and lifesteal.
Yeah, I love that card.
Yeah, and Zelix is like just costs 1 more and has a lot more abilities. So
yeah.
But speaking of mechs, I'm gonna go to the best mech in the set.
The biggest, baddest.
Mecha Thune
Also has the best name in the set, and that one's not particularly close.
The age of flesh is over. You die. This card's obviously what the kids say is a meme deck, but it's actually pretty good. It's in one of my one of my favorite decks I like to play, and it's surprisingly like pretty good. You'd think like it's like garbage. It's hard to activate, which it is, but like the reward was rare. It's there, but like that ability is powerful. When basically Mechathune says when it dies, if you have no hand, no library, and no creatures, your opponent loses the game. And keep in mind that Hearthstone's a game where your opponent can't interact with you on your turn. Like it's very hard to interact with you on your turn outside of secrets. So it's much easier to accomplish something like this in Hearthstone than it is in a game like Magic.
Yeah, and all three of these cards, I guess, I think this is the last ones that we have, but all of these are neutral minions. So you can, Subject 9 is a little weird because it can only go in 4 different decks.
Secret decks.
Yeah, because they only have secrets, but Zulix and
four Rogue 2, I guess.
Yeah,
now,
I think I said 4.
Oh, I did 3.
4, yeah. Even though Rogue didn't even get a single secret in the set, which is weird. But anyway, but Megathune and Zulix can go in a bunch of different decks. Megathune is fun to figure out, like, how can I make X class trigger Megathune? And I've seen people do it in, like, every single class, like, a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
I've only died to it one time, and that was in Druid, which it wasn't even really that exciting. He just ran out of cards, then innervated, and naturalized. Yeah. All right.
That's what I'm doing, man. I think so. Anyways, we'll get that later, but yeah.
So my next one is a priest card, which is, I don't want to say it's one of my least favorite classes, but it's probably one of the classes I've played the least, and that is Reckless Experimenter. The reason I like this card so much, it's a 4/6 for 5 with that says Death Rattle minions you play cost 3 less, but die at the end of the turn.
There you go. That's some black stuff right there.
It is, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. You know, in Magic, I like playing and sacrificing my own creatures, and Death Rattle just means like you get value when something dies. So I get to play something for cheap and then have it die immediately. That's fantastic. This is literally just what I want to do already, and this makes them 3 cheaper. So
perfect.
Yeah.
This is adjustment.
It is. As I haven't got a deck list yet that I'm happy with this card. But I think it exists. I gotta work on it.
I mean, cost reduction plus Death Rattle seems pretty powerful.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. What's your next one?
Next one is another priest card. It's not played anything yet either. It's a priest legendary spell, Xerix Cloning Gallery. It summons a copy of each creature in your deck, but makes it 1/1. So basically, it costs 9 mana, and it summons a copy of like every creature in your deck as 1/1. So you have like a Arthas, Ysera, whatever else. We'll just summon them all as 1/1, and then you get their effects. This seems pretty powerful in like the decks that try to reanimate, like we basically like summon big creatures, then resummon them again with Resurrect and the like.
Yeah.
Or the Priest Soulstone. But it also seems like there has to be some sort of like maybe a combo or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Somewhere with this card.
This is also one of those cards that, as other cards for the rest of Hearthstone get printed, this card just gets better and better. Like at some point, this will just be a card that you just cast on 9 mana and probably win the game. Like there's some combination of creatures you can put in your deck and just do that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
So that one's that.
It's a puzzle, and you just gotta figure out the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my next one is a little cheating because it's not just one card; it's a cycle of cards. But I think when I tell you what it is, it's more fair, and that is the Omega Cycle. So the Omega Cycle cards are ones that all have battle cries that says when you have 10 mana crystals, do something. So like the Priest one is Omega Medic, and it's a 3/4 for 3, which is already a very reasonable card if it doesn't do anything else, just from a stats perspective. And then it says if you have 10 mana crystals, restore 10 health to your hero, which is a lot. Yes, a significant amount of health. And that's the thing, like all of the different cards are like have a very powerful effect. Omega Mind, which is a shaman card, is a 2/3 for 2. It says Battle Cry. If you have 10 mana crystals, your spells have lifesteal this turn. So also an extremely powerful effect where you just start burning your opponent and just gaining all of the life back.
Or just casting Volcano, wiping the board and go back to full health.
Yeah, gain 15. Yeah. I mean, you could, there's a lot of things you do. It's just a powerful card. Omega Agent is a Warlock one. It's a 4/5 for 5. Slightly worse for the stats because it's a little worse than Chill One Yeti, but it says if you have 10 mana crystals, summon 2 copies of this card. Also to note, Warlock has a card called Soul Infusion, which says gives the leftmost minion in your hand +2/+2. So if you get to the end of the game, or to 10 mana, you can make this. This is just like the nastiest like Serenite chain gang ever. It's just massive. There's I think 3 more. My favorite one though is the warrior one. I'm not going to go into all of them. My favorite one is the warrior one, which is Omega Assembly, and then it says discover a mech. If you have 10 mana crystals, keep all 3 cards.
It costs 1 mana.
It costs 1 mana. Yeah. This card's awesome. So
it is awesome.
All the Omega cards I think are really sweet. They're all playable. And sometimes in like specific decks, like I think the warrior one is the most specific, and all the other ones are kind of just generically good. But they're all really it's a super sweet cycle. Okay, your next one.
All right, my next one is called Academic Espionage.
I love this card too. This is one of my favorite ones.
This is a rogue card. It says shuffle. It costs 4 mana. Shuffle 10 cards from your opponent's class into your deck. They cost 1. So you can. It's just obviously you can get lucky and just draw something like crazy. Like I know Parnell said one time.
Literally the first day, I was watching someone stream.
Yeah. And
they go preparation, academic espionage. So they shuffle just 10 random cards in their deck. And then they were talking about like all these things they're going to do, like, oh, this is good with like combo cards. And then like as they're talking, they draw, and they're playing against a mage deck, and they draw Frostlich Jaina.
On turn 2.
And it just costs 1. On turn 2, and they're like, well, I have this other play, but I think this is just better. And they cast it, and their opponent, and they just like pass the turn. Their opponent draws, and like sits there for a second, and then just explodes. And I can see.
Yeah. You're not being a Frostlich Jaina. Any Death Knight on turn.
Most Frostlich Jainas you're not beating on turn 9.
Yeah.
You're pretty much never beating it on turn 2.
It's also cool because you can like there's the rogue legendary spell is draw your whole entire deck. That's kind of cool. You can draw your whole entire deck, then you can refill it with all 1-cost spells.
No doubt. Yeah.
Cool card.
Yeah, this is
fun card. Rogue is like the commander champion in Hearthstone. I feel like it's just random.
Yeah.
Every game is so different, or at least you can build it that way with like Blink Fox and Hallucination and stuff. So
yeah, Rogue had a good set in this set. It's actually, I think it's the class I've enjoyed playing the most. And I've played like 2 different Rogue decks, and I haven't even made an academic espionage deck, but I really want to.
Oh sure.
I only opened ones. I'd have to craft one, but I just haven't done it yet. All right, my last one is cheating because it's not a card from the Boomsday Project.
I thought you cheated with a Mega Cycle.
I'm cheating more. You can't stop me from cheating. Okay, you just have to sit there and take it. One of my favorite cards that got significantly better in this expansion is Blood Knight. Now, Blood Knight is a classic card. Literally, it's from the classic set. It's a 3/3 for 3, and it just says Battle Cry. Destroy all Divine shields on minions and gain +3/+3 for each shield destroyed. So the card Giggling Inventor, which has been the most played card in the set, which is just, it's a 5/5, or excuse me, it's a 2/1 for 5 neutral minion that puts 2 Annoyatrons into play, which are 1/2s with Taunt and Divine Shield. Those combined with just like Paladin has a handful of Divine Shield cards, and there's always some. Zilix has Divine Shield. But even just with the Giggling Inventor, your opponent playing a Giggling Inventor on turn 5, and then you just untapping and playing Blood Knight, and you steal their shields and become a 9/9. 9/9s are actually pretty big. I've gotten this to a 12/12 is the biggest one, but I've been playing this in like an aggressive rogue deck, and this card has been, even early in the game, even if you can play it like after they play like a Ardent Squire, like a 6/6 on turn 2 or turn 3, like sometimes that's just it. Like they just can't interact. And now obviously that interaction's been around since the beginning of the game, but you now have, and I'm pretty sure statistically the Giggling Inventor is the most played card in this expansion. So you have a card that just kind of beats that, and becomes extremely difficult, especially in the right deck that's removal heavy. And Rogue has lined up where that's worked really well.
Yeah, Gillig Venture is like the cycle of Sludge Belcher. It's like the new defensive card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And it's a hell of a card for sure. That was one that I did not miss on. I saw that and I was like, oh, this thing looks really annoying. Double annoying.
Yeah. There's two of those. There's also the card that's like basically double Annoyatron. Two no put into one.
Stable together.
With magnetic.
Yeah, that's a Paladin card. Paladin obviously, as they always do, but has a lot of Divine Shield.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, favorite decks.
Okay, I'll start. Talk about Mechathune earlier. The first Mechathune deck I played was Druid. It was basically one turn killed Mechathune Druid, and that's just been a really fun deck to play. It's fun to figure out how to balance the cards in your hand versus your deck, and basically not run out of gas while not overdrawing, and while keeping the board clear. I really like it. I enjoy it, and it's always just like a nice way to win at the end. Like you just giggle. Okay, Thune, Innervate, Naturalize, go. Because
I don't think you said go.
You say go, they're dead. But at the time, like it's funny because like you deck yourself, and people are like, "Well played."
You're like, yeah, well played. One of us is dead.
Yeah, Mechathune and kill you, and then afterwards, like, nice. It's cool because the first time you die, that you're like, that was cool. Okay, congrats. Like that. I mean, like you know what?
Yeah, you got me. You got me. You Mechathune
me.
Yeah,
that was good. Yeah, exactly. So I enjoyed the deck.
Okay. The deck that has been most recent that I've had fun with is a deck that the designer of the deck has called Magnetic Meat Wagon, which is the best name of the deck ever.
Oh my god!
This is a deck I actually got from Reddit, and it essentially has Meat Wagon. Are you familiar with the Meat Wagon?
When it dies,
yeah, when it's a 1/4 for 4 mech, and so when it dies, it summons a minion from your deck with less power than it. So it's a 1/4, so you're only getting a 0 power creature if you don't buff it, right? So you're able to get Unpowered Steambot, which is an 0/9. And then, of course, this is a priest deck, so you're able to do your divine spirit, inner fire, double its health, get it big. So it's like, well, this could have existed before. However, now you have a bunch of mechs, so you have the ability to do this on a lot of different mechs, and you can kind of suit up in magnetic your Steambot to make it like an actual just like monster. That's very difficult to beat. War Gear is just like a 5/5 magnetic mech for 5 neutral common.
It's one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones. So you have that one. You have the 1/5 for 3 with magnetic and taunt. And then of course you have like Zilix is excellent. And then you actually get you get 2 new cards from Boomsday in Dead Ringers, which is a 2/1 mech for 2, and it just says Death Rattle, draw a Death Rattle minion from your deck. So you always either get the other Dead Ringer or you get the Meat Wagon to start your combo. And then you have
the Meat Wagon.
And then you have Extra Arms, which is just a spell for 3. It says give a minion +2/+2, add more arms to your hand, which is another Extra Arms that gives +2/+2. So it's just a nice buff card where you can kind of like you play your other normal like priest cards and you can trade with their creatures, and then if they kill your Meat Wagon on their turn, you can usually just kill them on your turn by making your guy huge and attacking them. Also, Mass Dispel has been MVP in that deck because you don't need to clear their minions, you just need to make sure that they can't block you and you kill them.
No more Voltron.
Nope.
Either, yeah. Alright. My next one, I've enjoyed too. Actually, this is one of my favorite cards, but I didn't mention it. It's a Dr. Boom card. So
that card's great.
Warrior. It's like basically a control deck with Dr. Boom. And Dr. Boom is just the hero champion, what would it call? It's just really fun. Each turn your hero power changes, and it's an overpowered hero power, but you can control it.
Yeah.
I had a game where I was able to discover. I was playing, Zelix and mechs and the Boom champion, and I was able to discover 2 more Zelixes with one.
That's so
power.
brutal.
It's just fun. It's weird because the thing that people complain about most on Hearthstone is RNG, and I find it was some of the most exciting and most fun things to watch and play against. So.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that Magic players that are playing Hearthstone as like basically like I don't have to think as hard when I'm playing Hearthstone as I'm playing Magic. Like enjoy the RNG effect, and people that have like where Hearthstone is like their first like competitive card game, they're just like, oh my gosh, it's too much. But it's like, I mean, this is kind of what you're getting in this game. Like it's not like this came out of nowhere. This is just what it's always been.
Yeah. Well, also too, I feel like the RNG in Magic and Hearthstone is actually pretty similar, just because in Hearthstone you can never get mana screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in Magic you can, but then Hearthstone has the RNG factor in their cards, or Magic doesn't. So it's actually not that far difference as far as RNG in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It just looks very different because so many cards in Hearthstone say random, but they're significantly like you're shuffling 60 cards as opposed to 30, and sometimes you just can't cast your spells. Yeah, there's a whole different resource you can interact with in Magic you can't interact with Hearthstone. So
yeah, and Hearthstone we never get mana screwed.
Yep. Yeah, there's only things that ramp you. There's never things that hurt you in mana. Doctor Boom Mad Genius, which is the Boom Hero card, also it gives 7. Now, obviously, they wanted to go on the 7 theme because it's because of
cost 7.
Yeah, but it gives you 7. It gives you 7 armor, and that is that's a pretty big deal.
It is. It's a lot of armor.
Yeah, you and I often talk about it in Magic, like gaining 1 or 2 like life just because on random cards like makes a big difference on those cards, and I feel like that's the same thing with the Boom card.
And he gives all your mechs rush rest of the game.
The first time that I played against it, I was like when I saw the make 3 1/1 mechs come up, I was like, oh, that's gonna be annoying, but at least you can attack with them. And I was like, oh no. They all have rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a sweet card. One of my other favorite decks, this is the deck I've probably had the most fun with and not necessarily most of the success, is Death Rattle Rogue. And this deck has a bunch of new cards in it. It has Myra Rot Spring, which is the new legendary 4/2. Discover a Death Rattle minion, also gain its Death Rattle. Necrium Vial, which triggers a friendly minion's Death Rattle twice. Necrium Blade, which and this weapon is really good. It's a weapon, a 3/2 for 3. When it dies, you trigger the Death Rattle of random friendly minion. Obviously, you can control that pretty well. And just a bunch of like other just Death Rattle value cards. And I opened a Myra's Unstable Element, which says draw the rest of your deck.
Yeah,
that card's actually pretty powerful. If you're anywhere in the neighborhood of like having 10 cards left in your deck, you pretty much cast it, and even if you take like 1 or 2 fatigue, you're probably just going to win within those 2 turns.
Yeah.
Rogue is,
and if one of them is espionage, you can just refill it anyways. But
yeah, I mean, and exactly. Rogue in particular has a lot of burst because you have like Cold Blood, you have Leroy and Shadow Step, you have you can always have a weapon and have your little South Sea deckhand, so you can use
the deadly poison stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, deadly poison. Yeah, you can actually usually you're going to do a significant amount of damage when you just have all of those cards if you can prepare for it. Okay, you're not.
All right, last one. I'm gonna go with just Shudderwalk. It's from last season, obviously, but it's gotten a little better with some more battle cries here and there. It's just a still fun card, and nothing too crazy, but it's just one I still enjoy.
Yep, and I have a fun one too. This one is just like Goblin Bomb Hunter. It's just a hunter deck that has a bunch of cards that make the little goblin bombs.
That plays Void Ripper.
It plays, and you flip them over, and then you just hit your opponent for a bunch.
It's like 10.
Yeah. Boom Master Flark is a sweet card. It's actually significantly better than I thought. It's a 5/5 for 7 legendary. You just get 4 goblin bombs.
And himself, he's a 5/5.
And he's a 5/5, which is not small. But yeah, people don't want to kill your goblin bombs, so you can magnetize them and kill them. There's ways to like trigger their death rattles, so it's actually been a pretty fun deck. Like it's been okay competitively wise. I've won more than I've lost with it, but of the 3 decks these are the 3 main decks that I've played as far as like with a little bunch of new cards. This one's been fun, but I still want to try to figure out how to actually make it good. So
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I still think that this expansion is really powerful.
All right, real quick before we go.
Yeah.
How many stars would you give this expansion?
Actually, I'm going to give this expansion 4 stars.
I am too. I think 4 stars.
Yeah,
too.
this is a great expansion. I think this is probably my second or third favorite expansion ever for Hearthstone.
Okay.
Knight to the Frozen Throne is my favorite expansion for Hearthstone, but I think this is my second or third.
5-star.
Is that also your favorite?
Yeah, it's 5-star for sure. The nice one.
Yeah, that one's 5 for me. So I think this one's 4. I think this is one of the best expansions ever, and there's just so many cards that like are good.
It feels like there's so many artifacts.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like this is just an artifact set. Like Goblins and Gnomes was like their first artifact set, and then this is like their second artifact set. Which is it's so weird because it's like it is, but it isn't. It's just like not how it works. But like just the way that everything synergizes together so seamlessly. I don't know. It's just a really great expansion. This is a good time if you're not playing Hearthstone. Like obviously, Magic is the greatest game to ever exist. But if you're someone that plays Magic and you want to shut your brain off and really not have to think that hard, Hearthstone is a fun game. I've actually gotten Meredith to start playing. Well, actually, I didn't even get her to start playing it. She started playing it on her own. But she actually enjoys playing it a lot now too, just because it's fun and it doesn't take a lot, and it's so quick to just pick up and just play for 30 minutes a day. Just do your quests, and over time you can basically make like 2 or 3 reasonable decks after a few months. So yep. All right, sweet expansion, good game. Well, that's it. That's the show for this week. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we return, question of the week. Question of the week.
Question of the week.
Okay, so that
Maggie looked at me. She was like,
"What? Yes, just shut up."
She's trying to sleep. Yeah.
She's like, "Can't you hear me, human? I'm sleeping." All right, so let's throw it back to segment 1.
All right, throw it back.
All right, you got it? You threw it back?
Threw it back.
Or is it in the trash can or out of the trash can?
It is. If you look at it, it's out of the trash can. But if you believe in it and you love it enough, it's in the trash can.
Okay, I think that's the opposite of what you wanted to say, but I'm just gonna go with it.
All right.
You and I both agree that Stoneforge Mystic is the least offensive banned card that's currently banned in Modern. Would you say that's accurate?
Accurate.
Okay, we both agree with that. So, when Stoneforge Mystic is inevitably unbanned, which 1-mana spell sends it packing the quickest?
Fatal Push.
Oh, really?
I'm with Fatal Push. I think she's going to push down a hole. Black's going to be like, push, because Fatal Push...
Yeah, you should keep saying push over and over again.
Yeah, well, push hits both sides. It is, thank you. Push hits both sides. It hits the Stoneforge side, also hits the Battle Skull side, the germ token side. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Fatal Push, and black is just great color, so you can't argue with me.
That's true. But I'm gonna go with Fatal Push is great, and it's tough for me to argue because it is fantastic. However, I'm gonna.
That's why I think
it is. I'm gonna go with, arguably, the greatest removal spell in Magic history, and that is Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is unlike Fatal Push. This is a card that it allows you to fight Stoneforge Mystic decks on both axes, because later in the game, when you're able to cast that Battle Skull you got with Stoneforge Mystic, Lightning Bolt is going to help you race, in addition to killing the Stoneforge Mystic. And that's obviously not what you want to do, because you want to kill it early in the game. But even though I do think black is in better position, I think that Lightning Bolt is just such a significantly more versatile card that you're going to see Lightning Bolt go up in numbers more than you're going to see Fatal Push go up in numbers. Because like the fair black and red decks that play both, they want to play more Lightning Bolts than they want to play Fatal Pushes, like Jund and Mardu and stuff like that. So, long before Fatal Push was around, Stoneforge Mystic was dying to Lightning Bolt, and I don't see that changing anytime in the future.
Okay. I want to say Fatal Push is the better one, but we'll let the people decide.
I'm going to say Send Packet, it's just going to get faster. Like, Lightning Bolt's going to send it packing faster. Okay? No, it's going to die to both frequently.
Fatal Push sends the Meg packing.
Oh, now who's bringing up the Meg? You want to talk about the Meg? You know, I think we could fit in a Meg segment on this podcast. No, let's talk about the scene where Jason Statham is down.
God, stop. We're done.
Harley, where can people find you?
You can find me now at coolstuff.com.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Coolstuffinc.com.
Okay, there you go.
All my articles go up every Friday. I think they also go up at gatheringmagic.com too, but they transfer you to Cool Stuff Inc. I'm also streaming more now at www.twitch.tv/Ali Aintrazi. Twitter, same thing, twitter.com/Ali Aintrazi. Everything /Ali Aintrazi. What about you, Parnell?
Okay. I'm at JParnell1 on Twitter. I'm also the host of the Commander vs. Series on StarCityGames.com and YouTube. We continue our foray into the Coliseum of Randomness coming this week, and it's a lot of fun. It's always one of the favorite things for the cast to do. So you can contact the show directly, Thinktwice MTG on Twitter and thinktwicemtg@gmail.com. We have gotten a few messages actually over the last week or so. So we appreciate that. Even if we haven't responded yet, rest assured we have seen it. We will at some point. If you want to find the show on other platforms, you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. In addition to YouTube finding the podcast on there, Ollie and I are both starting to post our recorded Magic Online and Magic Arena videos. I've been playing a lot of Quick Singleton, so we've been posting those every week. Ollie's been streaming a lot more and playing with fan-submitted decks. So if you are interested in being one of the people that submits one of those decks, you can go to Ollie's stream, which he said earlier, and you can go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. That is one of our tier levels, the $20 tier, and that actually jumps you to the front of the line in getting a submitted deck to Ollie for him to play on stream. Is that correct?
Yes, if you are a Patreon supporter, and let's say you have like 4 or 5 deck lists, as soon as you have paid, you will jump everybody in line.
It's a pretty good deal. And you get all the other stuff that you get from Patreon too. It's not just the Ollie deck submission. Everything in that tier, as well as every tier below it, you still get all of that stuff. So it actually is a really great deal. We want to thank our Discord animal of the week, of course, and that's Kenshin, the Shiba Inu.
I want to know if Kenshin is related to Roni Kenshin. Please let me know. Congrats, Kenshin.
Yeah, we would want to know. When I say we, I mean Ollie, because I don't know what he's talking about, but I support him in everything he does, no matter what. Even if it's hating on Jason Statham and the Meg, I still support him.
Dang, that's some.
I know. That's strong. I know. It's true love. It is.
I love you too.
It is. All right. We want to give a shout out to our graphic designer, Amber West. You can find her work at amberwestdesign.com, as well as our director and producer, John Shea. He's the man pulling the strings behind the curtain and put in that terrible music that you probably heard during the Question of the Week segment. I haven't heard it, but you guys did, and it sucks probably. We want to give a shout out to our Agent of Bolts producers, Daniel Hunt, Matt Lindell, and Liam Willen. Thank you guys very much for your support. We could literally not do the show without you. And Ollie, you're the best co-host on this side of the pillow. Whatever side of the pillow you're on. That's the side.
Oh, thank you. You're the best co-host. You're my favorite co-host in the whole world.
My gosh, really? You've narrowed it down to all the co-hosts on the show and I'm your favorite?
Yep.
Wow. I'm so honored.
Good. Should be.
All right, guys. That's the show. We love you guys very much. Talk to you next week.
Peace.